Glad to have you back. Glad it's Friday. Glad it's been a pretty decent day across the eastern Kentucky and viewing area. A little cloudy, but sure, dry, nice, pretty mild. We've got a beautiful, clear, sunshine-filled weekend ahead. We do have a few 90-degree days officially showing up towards the end of your 7-day. So there is weather to talk about, as there always is. But there's good things to talk about on tonight's program, and one of those will be our top story this evening. You know, I was very fortunate today to get to spend a few hours with friends who have dedicated a lot of time and efforts and love to raising a lot of money for some very special people over the course of 19 years now. It was check day at the Appalachian Wireless Arena for the Hillbilly Christmas in July bunch, and it's just a great story. It's just a really great, feel-good, positive story. And they're not letting all of the cats out of the bag, so to speak, but they're starting to hint towards next year. And that's worth the read, so to speak, in and of itself. A host of other information as well to pass along to you. Some good news by means of recovery still, as we've talked about on a couple of occasions this week. This weekend marks the 2-year anniversary for the extreme flooding that claimed 45 lives here in eastern Kentucky, and one person still never to be found afterwards. And the governor and lieutenant governor and other officials were in parts of eastern Kentucky earlier today, specifically a couple that we'll focus on. The governor today in Knott County announced that the state has bought more than 100 acres for the Chestnut Ridge High Ground community that's going to be established in Knott County. And the state has also secured a right-of-way donation that opens the door to completing a full access road to that site. The property, when done, will provide almost 150 safe, secure homes for residents affected by those July 2022 floods. The governor and Lieutenant Governor Coleman also made a stop in Wayland, joining the Appalachian Service Project, ASP, as we've seen them do a lot of work right here in the Sagersville-Magoffin County area. They were there to celebrate new homes and new beginnings for 11 families of flood survivors and announced that there are more homes on the way. The governor announced months ago development of this high ground site on land formerly owned by the Wayland Volunteer Fire Department, and families are moving in as of today to new resilient homes. They're on a 4-acre site in Floyd County. They were built in partnership with ASP. Partial funding for the homes came from a generous donation made from the Team East Kentucky Flood Relief Fund, with each home receiving $100,000 from the fund. The Wayland community, one of 7 high ground sites that together will bring over 500 new homes to 4 counties impacted by the flooding 2 years ago. In Painesville, an Oil Springs woman is awaiting her next court appearance after leaving her kids alone in deplorable conditions for days. 33-year-old Carolyn Gibson of Oil Springs was charged with 2 counts of criminal abuse in the first degree. This was after Sunday. Police responded to a call that 2 kids had been left home alone for at least 2 days and were actually seen by a neighbor playing on the roof of the apartment building in which they lived in Painesville. That same neighbor telling authorities upon their arrival that they overheard the children talking about the fact that their mom had not been there for a period of at least 2 days. Both children, less than 12 years of age, found in the home in deplorable conditions described in the citation as dried feces on the floor, urine, spoiled and expired food, dirty dishes in the sink and throughout the kitchen and parts of the home, flies on the dishes, on the ceiling as well, and trash strewn throughout the entire residence. The Department of Social Services, as well, as you can imagine, was called, and they made contact with Gibson, who stated that she had been gone for 2 days, thinking that the kids would be fine. I'll be right back. Whether you've got a new ride and you want it to stand out in the crowd, or you want your current ride to look and feel like a new one, no one does lifts, wheels, and tires better than Conley's. Stop in now for spring tire specials, free quotes, and 0% financing, or log on to conleytire.net. Dies in the U.S. every 7 minutes from an overdose, and over half of the population gets or takes pills from a friend or a relative. and about 46 million and counting are exposed to narcotics in their drinking water. So don't toss them, flush them, or leave them lying around. Safely dispose of your unneeded meds anytime at Parkway Pharmacy,
where you can always talk to a pharmacist when you...
The Big Sandy Healthcare System family is excited to welcome and introduce to you their newest team member, Dr. Emily McCormick, DMD. From right here in Eastern Kentucky, Dr. McCormick joins Hope Family Dental and is excited to see and serve patients in McGoffin County. Call 349-5126 to schedule an appointment.
There are several risk factors that may put a patient at risk for heart disease.
Especially people who have diabetes or hypertension or high cholesterol and have a family history of heart disease.
Neglecting to see a cardiologist can put you in trouble. You may develop problems that may not be reversible.
We see many people who do not have an actual diagnosis of a heart problem, but may be at risk of heart disease, and we do whatever we can to help mitigate that risk to help prevent disease in the future. ARH. More for Appalachia.
If you know of a child that needs help, all you have to do is call the hospital. You do not have to have a referral from a doctor or anyone. If you look at your child and that's from birth to 18, and you say, my child is just not standing right, it's not walking right, I just feel like there's something wrong with it. You can call the hospital direct and make your appointment, and they'll set you up. And if you don't have transportation, they will call the local Shrine Club and get you transportation for your child. So there's no reason why that if you have a child that you're just concerned about, that you don't have it checked out with the Shriners Hospital. And this is all free. If you have insurance, they'll take it. If you don't have insurance, you're fine. We need to find that child that needs help, and let's get it help.
Well, I had the wonderful opportunity to spend some time today, much of the afternoon, with some friends doing a whole lot of good in Pikeville at the Appalachian Wireless Arena. Wrapping up this year's Hillbilly Christmas in July Memorial Ride in honor of Randy Jones, the 19th annual event, which has just seen phenomenal success and support for the Shriners Children's Hospital. So wrapping up the event this year, it was time to see how much money they raised and how much support they had, and then try to maybe get a little bit out of them as to the big things they've got planned for their 20th anniversary. Hillbilly Christmas in July. This is one part of the story that I don't think I've ever spoke of, but just briefly. 19 years ago, Jimmy Kinney had an idea, wanted to take some toys to the Shriners Hospital. Did so, got there, and realized they were grateful, more so than grateful to have them. And he learned that they were glad to have them as well, because a lot of times they run out of toys around July of each year for all the kids who seek treatment at Shriners. Jimmy came back. He got with his friend Randy Jones, the voice, Randy Jones, who sadly is no longer with us, and Randy jumped right to it, and with his voice and his audience on the radio, well, they soon, next trip, took 2,000 toys to Shriners, and then came back and thought, we got to build on that. Hey, let's raffle a motorcycle. They went to West Blackburn down in Floyd County at the time and wanted to get a motorcycle. He sought his help. He was glad to get on board, and since they've donated 17 new motorcycles, Harley-Davidsons, each year since. And in a full circle moment this year, before we get to the big numbers at the end and the big plans for next year, in a full circle moment this year, it was actually one of West Blackburn's good friends, Bill Van Hoos, who won the Harley-Davidson this year, but didn't take it home.
Him being a big friend of Wes, he donated this motorcycle back to us in memory of Wes Blackburn. So now, where we have in the past worked until April, Hillbilly days, to make enough money to pay for our motorcycles, we're going to start out in the black right off the bat. I mean, I think next year's going to be huge, because we're starting out without being in a hole. That $15,000, we have to pay. But anyway, with Bill Van Hoos doing this and donating back, that really helped us. Then Wes passed away on us. Then we had a guy named Don Coy. Don popped in. I'll tell you what, selling a machine. If he come to this room right now, I guarantee he'd sell you at least a ticket on a motorcycle, or you'd give him a donation before we left. He's that type of person. But these three guys contributed a whole lot to our organization. They're not with us now, but no doubt in my mind, they're looking down and saying, y'all need to get them another gear. You're going to have to work harder. And they're laughing their butts off. because they know we're doing everything we can.
And with the inspiration of those three very important lost friends and the support of a whole lot of others, Hillbilly Christmas in July has taken, over the years, 19 and counting, 50,000 toys to the Shriners Hospital in Lexington. They donated the beautiful all-access $300,000 playground to the city of Pikeville, a first of that kind in the entire state of Kentucky, not to mention the playground outside Shriners Hospital. And, before today, over $876,000.
So why don't we just set this little goal? In 20 years, we want to meet the $1 million goal. We've done a whole lot of other stuff now. We like the challenge. This group, they work hard on the challenge. But anyway, we have this year and next year to come up with $124,000 to meet that $1 million goal. And I think it's going to be feasible after I've seen what's going to happen today, and the future's going to work good. But we're going to make a few changes on next year. I think it's going to add more to this ride. It being our 20th anniversary, and also Appalachian Arena's 20th anniversary. Next year's ride is going to start in Mine Shaft Harley Davidson. That'll be on Saturday, July the 19th, 2025, and we will leave the Harley store at 1 p.m. We will do our route through Prestonsburg, Paintsville, Sayersville, and we're coming back here, back to Appalachian Arena. And here we plan on having one of the largest bike nights this town has ever seen. I mean, we want to shut this town down. Wish Jimmy Carter's here to listen to this. We want to make a showing next year, and I'm going to tell you, I think it's going to be good because Larry and Josh and I are kind of working behind the scenes here a little bit. Don't tell Jimmy, but I think next year is going to be a super year with both of us having an anniversary, and man, I'm already excited about the plans for next year.
And there's one thing to keep in mind. There's one word to keep in mind, a very short word, 2 letters, we. This entire thing is a we thing, which has grown to where it is today with the support of everyone who was there today, the board, everyone who's bought a ticket and or took the ride or for whatever part they have had in Hillbilly Christmas in July's memorial ride over the years, big or small, it all adds up. On the big side, you've got folks like the Big Sandy Roadrunners, whose first race back in 2003 raised $500. It's now the longest foot race in Kentucky. They had this year a 5K, a 10K, and a half marathon, and raised almost $5,700. The Thacker Memorial family had a poker run ride. They raised almost $5,900. Gearhart Communications stepped up with a $10,000 donation, and you add all that with the $60,000 raised by Hillbilly Christmas in July, and it tops last year's number.
Such a great day. Had a good turnout, and we had some good donations. And last year we did $81,200 total, and this year was $81,500. So we're up from last year, and just a great success here today. And looking forward to next year. I mean, we're only 42,000, something like that, off for Mark. So hopefully next year we meet that $1 million mark and make things happen. And we're really excited about next year because that's our 20th anniversary, and also Appalachian Arena's 20th anniversary. And I think this town is going to come unglued in July when we do our ride and end up back here at Appalachian Arena. I think it's going to be a great day, and we're going to make this town have a lot of fun. So as we all say, we do it for the kids, and we're still looking for that one child that needs help. The money we've taken today is great. Can't wait for the hospital to get it and use it in the right direction, but if there's a child in this area that needs help, we need to find it. And all you have to do is call that hospital and make arrangements to get the patient there. If you don't have transportation, they will get a hold of the local shrine clubs, and they will transport your child and you to and from the hospital and hopefully take care of all your needs. So we're still looking for that one child.
And also with us today, the Shriners Children's Hospital of Lexington Director of Philanthropy, Jason Baker, who sees and knows very well as well as anyone, what the gifts and support from Hillbilly Christmas in July has meant to the kids at Shriners.
This group, along with their generous giving, also, of course, donates their time. They spread the word, as Jimmy often says, to get the word to that one child. But I can give you an example just this week that I witnessed. Years ago, they provided for a playground that's sitting on the entrance of our medical center there in Lexington. Just this Wednesday morning, walking up, starting my day, cup of coffee in hand, I see a mother and a father sitting in the playground. I know it's the time of day. My feel is that a child is probably in surgery, so they found a comfort in that space. Walking through our double doors, as the doors slide open, here comes a little feller. I mean, not much higher than my knee, and he's got a prosthetic leg. But with that leg, he is running. He's out in front of the nurse. He's out in front of mama, and he has the biggest smile because he's heading to that playground. There's obviously a lock on there. The mom and dad that are sitting there unlock the lock for another child. He's literally off and running into the playground. So not only do they provide for the children and the families, they also provide for peace and comfort. And that's a lot of what we do at Shriners is put a hug around families and not only provide them healing, but provide them a life in a manner that is comfortable and welcoming. This group is a we group, and that comes from their heart. The word we, they say they want to raise $1 million and they're going to get there, but he truly means it when he says we, because my guess is that well before they get to the $1 million mark and giving to the kids and families at Shriners Lexington, the word we will get used 10 times over $1 million, because this group cares so much. I told them today, they're such a thoughtful, such a passionate group that coming in from the hospital there in Lexington today, didn't even turn the radio on, nothing, just enjoyed the ride thinking about this group that I was going to get to see, because they care so much, and I get to say thanks every day. But days like this, to be with a group like this, good folks in this community and beyond, getting to say thanks to them is an extra special day.
Good story, good times, and looking forward to next year already. I'll be right back, wrapping up the show. Here's tonight's McGoffin Farm Bureau calendar. One more invite to join New Life Worship Center. Everyone's invited to join them as they celebrate Pastor William Perkins' 50 years of faithful ministry, his spiritual birthday, and they're celebrating this Sunday at 11:30. They've got a special dinner and services and things going on starting at 11:30. They hope that you'll join them. A canning class coming up at the McGoffin County Extension Office August the 2nd. Sounds far away. It's not. It's next Friday. Call to register, 349-1236. The North McGoffin Fire Department's got a horse show slated coming up Saturday, August the 3rd. Not this Saturday, but next. Gates open at 3. Show starts at 6. $5 to get in. Kids 12 and under get in free. They've got 28 classes, some big prizes, big concessions, a big time to be had. Call anyone with the North McGoffin Fire Department to find out more, to get entered in a class, to sponsor a class. I'm sure maybe a few still opportunities for that open. And find me whenever you have calendar announcements. And don't forget those birthdays and anniversaries too. From there, we'll go on to funeral service announcements provided nightly by our friends at the McGoffin County Funeral Home. Sad to hear that a former neighbor of mine has passed. 74-year-old Lois Robertson of Sagersville, I'm told, passed away earlier today at her home, survived by her husband Johnny and family. Arrangements are incomplete at this hour, but to be announced soon. And Clyde Tinker Howard Jr., 76, of Sagersville. He also passed away today at his home, survived by his wife Jewel and a host of family and arrangements in his honor too, to be announced soon through the McGoffin County Funeral Home. Get ready, because the 21st Annual McGoffin County Community Day is coming up Saturday, August 17th in Ramey Park, and tickets, as always, are just $10, and kids 12 and under get in free, and those $10 tickets still get you into one of the greatest bluegrass shows anywhere and a chance to win a car. And this year, we've got Rhonda Vincent and the Rage, Larry Sparks, Dave Atkins Band, Turning Ground, Randy Maloney and Friends, Aaron Grace Rudd, Black Powder Express, Eddie Jenkins and the 606 Sound, Terry Miller and Traveler, and your MC, CJ the DJ. Get your tickets now at either location of the Sangersville National Bank.
I believe in Kentucky.
I believe in Kentucky.
I believe in small town values.
And mom and dad and the things they handed down.
I believe some of the best people in the world are farmers.
I believe in insurance that protects families, homes, and cars.
I believe in always finding a way to do what you love.
I am Kentucky.
I am Kentucky.
I am Kentucky.
Just can't wait, and when it's one of those times for an amazing elective ultrasound of baby, call Mommy and Me 4D Imaging, a local studio with years of OB experience. Located in Sangersville and waiting at 496-5423. Thanks to you, Fraser's Prater Drug has been voted #1 in customer satisfaction with Good Neighbor Pharmacies for the 7th year in a row. With curbside pickup for all of your prescription, allergy, or even multivitamin needs. Or come in and pull up a stool while you shop, or just visit downtown and treat yourself to something extra tasty or sweet. Where locally owned means a more personal, reliable, and friendly pharmacy. Fraser's Prater Drug. Now, what lies in store for the weekend and the week ahead? Well, let's not get in too big of a hurry to get to the week ahead. Let's see what's going on now. Topped out at 88 degrees today here in downtown Sangersville. 84 right now, feels like about 86. We've got a dew point at 66 degrees and relative humidity at 52%. Winds not very noticeable today. I did have one clocked at 9 miles per hour earlier today, and right now out of the east-northeast, 1 to 2 miles per hour, if that. Not much air moving out there. Sunrise 6:33, 8:47 for sunset. No rain to speak of. There is some in our forecast. We've got a cold front southbound. It's going to kind of make a return trip northward before the weekend is over and bring us some shower and storm chances into next week. And we've got a few upper-level lows that will open the door for potentially some good rain and maybe some good old-fashioned thunderstorms next week as well. Tonight, though, just more partly cloudy skies. It's kind of looked like it was going to rain out there today, but didn't have it in the mix. Partly cloudy, calm winds tonight, 58 degrees tomorrow. And for your Saturday and your Sunday, upper 80s until the front gets here. 89, 59, your high, your low tomorrow. Some fog in the morning, otherwise sunshine during the day on your Saturday, partly cloudy tomorrow night. Sunday, 88 for the high, mostly sunny. It is a Sunday night right now. I think will be the window for our next shot at some shower and storms to the tune of 60%. I'm hoping that that's really not going to be until like during the overnight, 4 or 5 a.m. So I think the weekend looks pretty warm, 89, 88 degrees both days, and full of sunshine. Showers, again, that boundary looks to roll through here during the overnight into your Monday morning. That's when temperatures will take a hit. You'll see we'll go from the upper 80s to the very low of 80s. And storm chances are quite likely to the tune of 90% starting off on your Monday, and then we'll stick around there for a few days. Again, not one, but maybe a couple of upper-level lows next week will give us some pretty good shower chances. Into your Tuesday again at 85, 80%. Cloudy skies and a 68-degree low that night. Midweek, 87. Temperatures recovering. Partly sunny. Still a good shot, 70% of showers and storms as all of this starts to make its way out. As it does, temperatures ramp back up, and we think we'll break that threshold of 90 again Thursday and Friday, maybe a tick or two above right now. Under mostly sunny skies, nights will be a bit muggy on the 70-degree or better side with about a 40 to 30% chance of showers or storms, respectively, Thursday and Friday. So something a little bit of, not everything, but close enough in there for you. Good news, if we're taking anything out of this, is it's going to be a nice last weekend of July before we get back to the heat, possibly by the end of next week. And that will do it. It's going to be a nice weekend. I hope you enjoy it in whatever form or fashion you so choose. And I hope to see you back here Monday for our next edition of Your News Today. Shutting the door on this month of July. When I see you next time, say it isn't so. Time going by ever so quickly. Thanks for being part of the show. I'll see you then. Good night.